your general impressions from today's doubleheader?
Obviously excitement. First conference win, first win at the home field. So it's definitely very exciting. And it feels good for them to finally trust the system and believe in it and finally come through and play all 7 innings.
Following a tough first game, your team responded in Game 2, jumping out to an early lead and never letting up. What was your message to your squad before Game 2?
I think it's the same that I have given them every single doubleheader. We have 2 completely different teams that show up, and I just keep telling them that if they give 100% every single pitch, every single inning, that they will end up beating these teams like this and not lose in the 7th inning or get runners on all bases, not be able to have that last second hit.
CJ Del Real Rodriguez comes through with her first career homer, a 2-run shot to left that gave you a 2-run lead and really seemed to spark your offense. What can you say about that at bat and how it kept your offense going and really got it going?
Obviously it was huge, but I think for once we finally didn't settle for just the 2 runs. There's many times this season that we've scored first, but then we kind of back off at the plate and on defense. So I think they finally kept that energy and kept that momentum.
A number of key defensive plays through the final 3 or 4 innings really seemed to break your way where they hadn't been earlier in the year. Just talk about your team's defense and how even when there were errors, the team did not let the negative momentum capitalize into runs for Freed-Hardeman.
Yep, and that's what I keep telling them. Beginning of the year, we would have 1 error and it turned into 5 in 1 inning, and we're starting to clear the slate every single ball. Even if it's an error, we understand that we can get the next one, or our teammate's going to get the next one. So it's really huge to start seeing them not let 1 error affect them.
Desiree Fernandez executes a squeeze play in which not only she was safe on the play, but 2 runs come around and score. How do you think that offensive play really separated yourselves and gave you some breathing room as it put you up 4 runs?
Yeah, that squeeze play was huge. What I've been telling them all year is that we've seen people squeeze on us and we feel that pressure and you throw the ball around. So finally we got people in that position, and just to execute that bunt and then not be happy with just 1 base and taking that 2nd base. And I think that is really when the momentum started to pick up and we finally started to feel like this is our game.
A ground-out double play, Mariah Montoya to Jamie Whitmer secures Stevens' first ever win over Freed-Hardeman in 12 all-time meetings. What can you say about just the win, what it means for your program, and talk about your team's elation when those final 2 outs were made?
It's huge. It feels good. It's awesome, and we just have to take that win and bring it into the next one, but it's also setting tones for the following year, the next year, that if we can beat these teams this year, next year we should be even stronger. And I'm super proud of the team. They could have easily won that game, very easily. They were putting the ball in play and we could have been making errors, but they finally just kind of settled in and took 1 out at a time and didn't let it affect them that they just had 2 singles right in a row with us.
As you alluded to earlier, your first win at home, your first conference win with the program, what does that mean to you?
Oh, it's awesome. It's what I've been waiting for. It's what I truly believed that this team could do, and it feels good that it's finally not just in my head and that they can finally realize it and they can know what their capability is, and the fact that season isn't over. We still have a running for conference tournament, and they just need to give 100% every single game until the end.
The team's next doubleheader is at a place that you have a little bit of familiarity with being at Mid-America Nazarene. What does this team have to do in order to carry the momentum that was generated from the 2nd game win into that doubleheader in Olathe, Kansas next week?
They just have to remember the positives. They need to completely forget about Game 1 because Mid-American can do that to us again. But if we come out and if we have those hits and have those plays, we can definitely get 2 wins out of Mid-America. And obviously, as a former coach, that'd feel really good to be able to beat them.